Hello and welcome, my lovely listeners. I am talking today about the continuation from the last episode. The This is the second part. The last episode was about the Lulu thinking, and if you haven't listened, I uh, welcome you to listen to that episode. What was on my mind since then was about imagination and thinking about your life as if you already had all those things you are dreaming of having. And I was remembering when I was a little girl and I didn't have much. I was living in times when there was quite a scarcity in like objects, and I didn't have much clothes back then, and I was really wanting to go to school, I remember, and wear something else and new and exciting and colorful. And I just had a couple, like really a couple of clothes, maybe two pairs of trousers and I don't know, four blouses or something like that. And I liked variety, and I was really craving to have colorful and different clothing that I could wear depending on my mood and mix and match. And I was really imagining the clothing that I wake up next day after going to sleep, and the clothes just folded on my chair or just lying on the seat of my chair, and there's like a heap of clothing. And I remember it because I was dreaming about it so vividly that when I woke up, I was still thinking so thankfully that I still have that I have those clothes, following on my dreams, that I have those clothes folded on my chair. And then I looked at my chair and there was no clothes there. And now, so many years after, I have so many clothes. I live in the place where there is an abundance of clothes, and they are very easily and cheaply also available. And I'm not only talking about the cheap places that you can get clothes nowadays, but also places like charity shops and having things from your friends and exchanging communities and clothes basically lying on the street. You can find things just lying on the street in big towns and big cities. It's not about the consumerism or spending. It's just the options, the thought that you can have it. And I just remember this, that when I was looking at my clothes piling up, you know how you fold the clothes over your chair that you were wearing last day, and this is just something that just happened just like that, exactly how I was thinking. And this is just obviously a very small thing, but it leads me to thinking about big things. And one of the things was about imagination. I used to have, or I have, or I like to think that I have a really big imagination, and I could live in my dreams and I could imagine big things, and they very often would come to me in my dreams. And then for some reason, slowly, I guess, something, myself have taken this imagination off from me, and I was told not to dream, not to live in my dream, not to live in my imagination. And I agreed to that. I don't know why I feel like I've signed something that I cannot live in my imagination, that dreams are not true, and what is true is hard facts, and it's hard to deny that the facts, that physicality is there. And I stop believing in dreams. I stop living and I stop imagining. And maybe it's because when you leave and some things are happening to you that are uncomfortable and are hurtful and are sad, slowly you abandon your dreams and you come out of the childhood bewildering, the childhood dreaming and the childhood imagination, and you more and more you get sucked into physicality, what is. And also you get so afraid and you get so scared of what can happen that you start imagining and believing of the things that didn't happen, but you want to really make sure that you avoid of them to happen. So you sort of still live in your imagination. It's just the imagination of the things that you are trying to avoid from them to happen and you are trying to control. And what helps you live in this lack and this hurtful place is very often news and information that you get to be delivered to you. You allow the information, the news to be delivered to you, and you consume them, or I consume them. I don't at the moment, but I was talking to someone who had this sort of view and who came to my house, and they were saying to me, oh, you know, there is going to be a crisis there, all the prices are going up and this, that. And I was in shock. I mean, I was really didn't understand where it was coming from, and that was coming from news, was coming from everything that's happening around. And it's just not avoiding, and I'm not talking about the avoidance, although I don't even want to explain. I was just in shock that this one person could bring so much information and negative information into the world, and that it didn't even happen. And if so, there wasn't even that much that I could do about price increase. The only thing I could do is I could think about my finance and think about how I spend and what I spend, which I already do anyway, and be afraid. That's kind of the only thing. Be afraid, and then maybe talk to people about this, find the ways to save money, find the ways to, I don't know, spend more or not buy something, or I don't know, maybe try to get a new job, whatever it would be. This piece of information and the crisis coming, and then this coming, and the austerity, whatever. And then my first question to her was, when was the last time that she was really happy with everything is fine, the prices are stable, everything in the world is really stable, there is no crisis, there is no illness, there is no there is no, I don't know, something that's happening in the world. There was always, and now obviously she said there was always something that the world were telling her to be afraid of. There was always information about looming sadness, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about something opposite. If we can imagine bad things happening, why can we not imagine good things happening? And I was thinking, how do I cross between this is not happening and what is fact in front of me? Because I always hear when I'm saying something that factually is not there, I always hear my parents actually saying to me, what are you talking about? These are facts. This is how life it is. This is how life looks like. And then I was listening to Neville Goddard, and he had so many revelations when I was listening to him, and I really encourage you to listening to him about faith. And faith, what is faith? Faith is believing in something that you don't see. Faith is believing of something greater than the facts, than the physicality. And faith is something that drives us through, and faith is something that many people are being led and live by is faith, not a physical thing that is already there, but faith. And he also was obviously talking about your inside projecting onto your outside. How you are inside projects into outside. The part that I really resonated with me, and it's also because someone said there is this person that is like how do I say that, a spiritual person that sees is very esoteric and sees spirits and talks with spirits and see into the future and into the present beyond the kind of veil. And she was talking about this year, 2026, being a year of a mirror. And then I was listening to Neville Goddard, and he was saying that if you want to change your reflection in the mirror, you don't scratch the mirror being the exterior, the mirror being the world, what's around you. You are not changing the world around you. You are not scratching the mirror. You are changing yourself. And yourself is the actual how you perceive the world, how you perceive yourself. And I am starting that, and I felt that, and I have this faith. I felt that. I very much felt that I was watching my favorite K-dramas, and I was watching this beautiful romance, and how the guy was behaving towards the girl, how he was really in love with her, or falling in love with her, and saving her and giving her this love and admiration and support and protection. And I was thinking, that's what I want. This is the sort of behavior. And I really, really strongly started imagining this is how my relationship is going to look like. This is how the guy that I am with looks like. And this is the deep faith in me. And actually it helped me with, sometimes I have this like thing that I would go and, I don't know, check on or watch the story or whatever of a guy that I maybe used to see or I had a fling with or something. And they didn't necessarily treat me well, and I still will go and think, oh, but maybe this, maybe that, and watching and believing and watching this drama and looking at the actual behavior, how I want the guy to behave, stopped me so many times now from watching this other guy's story, which is like, what does it bring to my life? Nothing. I don't want someone who behaved like this. I don't want someone in my life like that. And I'm not going to give chances, or I'm not going to reach out or anything, leave any trace, because I imagine and I have faith and I believe that this is what the universe is bringing to me. This is what is aligning. This is the exact guy that I am manifesting, and it could be anything else. And I truly believe in my imagination. So instead of imagining bad scenarios, fearful scenarios, I am imagining me being in my highest, having the most power self. Instead of being in a fearful state, I am imagining abundance. I am imagining my kingdom as it is. The same when I was small and I was imagining this clothes, that I have lots and lots of clothes, which actually now came true. I have lots and lots of clothes, and I was thinking, that was such a small little dream. I should have dreamed bigger. So I am going to make as much effort as possible to imagining things as big as I can imagine and make it as big as my imagination take me. And what I observed already, because I've started doing that, what I observed is I put boundaries on my imagination. I keep saying to myself, this is not gonna happen, this is not how it cannot get as big. And why? Is that because someone said something? Is that because I had some setbacks in life? And Neville Goddard explained it so beautifully, that any setbacks, any physical reality that brings you things that didn't work out, or someone rejected you, or you had to spend some money, you had some unexpected expense, whatever, you had something happening to you that kind of was a setback, is the universe testing you, but not in a bad way, like testing you, or now is your test. It's like testing you how far your imagination can be, how far it can take you. And then he was also explaining about any setbacks you had, and the person that rejected you, that when you look back, what did it bring you? Where are you now because of that? And a job that you didn't get, and things that you didn't work out for you, where did it bring you? What are you? How are you? What did bring you now? If, for example, is the fact that you might be listening to myself talking, and you are discovering yourself. That's where you are now. You moved. You are reflecting on yourself. And this is just the beginning of the journey. So let your imagination take you to the beautiful places, and start what you want to within yourself. Start thinking from the powerful place, not from the fearful place. And start being in your mind what you want to reflect outside. I hope this helped, and I speak to you soon. Bye bye.